The warning alarms on the Eternal Watch began screaming again. Commander Hyunwoo rushed to his command chair as his crew worked frantically at their stations. "What is happening?" he demanded. Navigation Officer Chang Min stared at his instruments in horror. "Sir, we are experiencing the same malfunctions that affected the missing ships. Our position readings are changing constantly. According to our computers, we are in 12 different locations at once. Distance from Earth? That is the problem, sir. Our instruments cannot tell us where we are anymore." Dr. So Young checked the ship's reality sensors. "Commander, space-time around us is becoming unstable. The laws of physics are fluctuating." Hyunwoo felt fear growing in his chest. After studying 17 ship disappearances, his vessel was about to become the 18th. What changed? Why are we affected now when we were safe before? Communications expert Subin looked up from her station with wide eyes. "Sir, there has been a massive spike in human internet activity. The entire planet just went online simultaneously. What are they doing? It appears to be some kind of global crisis. The humans are sharing information about strange lights in their sky. Millions of them are posting messages, pictures, and videos online." Engineer Tae Young realized what was happening. "Commander, they spotted us. Our stealth systems are failing because of their reality distortions. The humans can see our ship. On Earth, people in cities around the world pointed their cameras at the sky. Social media platforms filled with images of a strange metallic object floating above their planet. News organizations interrupted their regular programs to report the sighting. This is impossible," Dr. So Young said as she monitored human communications. "Their technology should not be advanced enough to detect us." "They are not detecting us with technology," Subin replied. "They are seeing us because millions of human minds refuse to accept that we should be invisible. Their collective disbelief is overriding our stealth systems." The ship shuddered violently. Sparks flew from control panels as systems overloaded. Chang Min struggled to keep the vessel stable, but every adjustment he made seemed to make things worse. "Sir, our logical navigation systems are failing," he reported. "The computer cannot process the conflicting data." Hyunwoo made a desperate decision. "Shut down all automatic systems. Switch to manual control." "But sir, manual control is much less accurate than computer guidance. Our computers are trying to make sense of impossible situations. Maybe we need to stop thinking logically and start thinking like humans." Chang Min hesitated, then disabled the automatic navigation. The ship lurched as he took direct control, but the violent shaking stopped. "It is working," he said with amazement. "The ship is responding normally to manual controls. How is that possible?" Dr. So Young asked. Intelligence specialist Wu Jin had been studying human psychology during the crisis. "Doctor, I think I understand. Humans do not rely entirely on logical thinking. They use intuition, emotion, and instinct to make decisions. When logic fails, they trust their feelings. You are suggesting we abandon scientific thinking? Not abandon it, but supplement it. Our computers cannot process impossible data, but human-style thinking might be able to handle it." Engineer Tae Young tried a different approach to the ship's problems. Instead of following standard repair procedures, he began improvising solutions using whatever materials were available. To his surprise, the improvised repairs worked better than the proper methods. "Commander, this makes no sense, but creative solutions are more effective than logical ones while we are near Earth." Hyunwoo understood what was happening. "The humans have created a zone around their planet, where their way of thinking is more effective than ours. Their reality operates by different rules." "What rules?" Dr. So Young asked. "Human rules. Creativity over logic. Determination over calculation. Hope over probability." Subin continued monitoring human communications. "Sir, the humans are trying to communicate with us. They are sending radio messages in multiple languages. What are they saying? They are welcoming us to Earth. They want to meet us and learn from us. They are excited, not afraid." Dr. So Young was puzzled, but their entertainment media shows aliens as dangerous invaders. "Why are they not frightened?" "Because real humans are different from the characters in their stories," Wu Jin explained. "When faced with the unknown, humans choose curiosity over fear. They want to explore, to understand, to make friends with strangers." The ship's systems continued to stabilize as the crew adapted to human-style thinking, but Hyunwoo knew they were still in danger. Every minute they remained near Earth increased the risk that they would disappear like the other ships. "Commander," Chang Min said quietly, "I think I know why the other ships vanished." "Tell me." They tried to fight the human reality distortions using logic and technology. The harder they fought, the more unstable their situation became. Eventually, they were pulled into a dimension that follows human rules instead of physical laws. Are you saying the missing ships still exist? Yes, sir. But they exist in a reality created by human imagination. They are trapped in a place where human thoughts and dreams are more real than metal and energy. Dr. So-Young studied the sensor data. If that is true, then we face the same fate unless we can escape Earth's influence. Or unless we stop fighting it, Hyun-Woo said thoughtfully. What do you mean? The humans are not trying to harm us. They want to communicate. Maybe the solution is to accept their reality instead of imposing our own. Commander, that could be very dangerous, Tae-Young warned. If we fully accept human reality, we might not be able to return to normal space. Hyun-Woo looked at his crew. They had followed him into this mystery, trusting his judgment. Now he had to make the most important decision of his career. Prepare a message for the Galactic Council, he ordered. Tell them that Earth must be declared off-limits to all galactic traffic. Sir? Dr. So-Young asked. The humans are not dangerous because they want to hurt us. They are dangerous because they represent a completely different way of existing in the universe. Their reality is based on connection, creativity, and the belief that impossible things can become possible. What should I tell the Council about the missing ships? Tell them the ships are safe, but they exist in human space now. They have become part of Earth's protection system, not because humans captured them, but because human reality absorbed them. And what about us? Hyun-Woo made his final decision. Set course for the edge of the solar system. We leave Earth alone and let humanity develop on its own terms. When they are ready to join galactic civilization, they will come to us, and when they do, they will change everything. As the Eternal Watch moved away from Earth, Hyun-Woo watched the blue planet grow smaller in the viewing port. He understood now that the mystery was not why alien ships disappeared around Earth. The real mystery was how humanity had become the most powerful force in the galaxy without even realizing it. Their strength came not from weapons or technology, but from their ability to believe in each other and refuse to accept that anything was truly impossible. Commander Hyun-Woo ordered his ship to maintain a safe distance from Earth while his crew studied what they had discovered. The Eternal Watch floated in space. Its sensors pointed toward the blue planet that had become the galaxy's greatest mystery. I want a complete analysis of human orbital debris, Hyun-Woo told engineer Tae-Young. Map every piece of metal, every satellite, every bit of junk floating around their world. Tae-Young worked for several hours scanning the space around Earth. What he found amazed him. Commander, you need to see this. The humans have filled the space around their planet with thousands of objects. The main screen showed a three-dimensional map of Earth's orbital space. Tiny dots represented satellites, space stations, and debris. There were so many objects that they formed thick rings around the planet. Most advanced civilizations keep their orbital space clean, Dr. So-Young observed. But the humans have created a chaotic mess up there. It is not just messy, Tae-Young said, highlighting different objects on the display. Look at the movement patterns. Dead satellites tumble in unpredictable ways. Pieces of broken rockets spin randomly through space. Debris fields shift and change constantly. Hyun-Woo studied the patterns carefully. What does this mean for navigation? Sir, it means that no computer can predict safe paths through this debris field. Even our most advanced navigation systems cannot calculate routes through constantly changing chaos. Intelligence specialist Woo Jin had been analyzing human space missions. Commander, I think I understand why the humans create so much orbital debris. They are not trying to build a defense system. They are just very determined to reach space even when their missions fail. Explain. Human space programs fail often. Their rockets explode, their satellites break, their space stations fall apart. But instead of giving up, they keep trying. Every failure teaches them something new. They learn from each mistake and try again. Dr. So-Young pulled up data about human psychology. This matches what we know about human behavior. They do not accept defeat easily. When something seems impossible, they become more determined to achieve it. But how does this relate to our missing ships? Hyun-Woo asked. Tae-Young highlighted several areas on the orbital map. Sir, look at where our ships disappeared. Every location matches an area of dense debris activity. Our vessels encountered unpredictable objects moving in impossible trajectories. Our ships should be able to avoid debris easily, Hyun-Woo said. Yes, sir. but not when the debris is behaving in ways that violate the laws of physics. Communications expert Subin had been monitoring human activities during recent ship disappearances. "Commander, I found something else. Every time a ship vanished, humans were conducting what they call impossible activities." "What do you mean by impossible activities?" "Things that should not work according to known science, but humans make them work anyway." Subin brought up recordings of human events. 3 days ago, a Zenthari cruiser disappeared while observing a human competition called esports. Millions of humans were watching teams compete in electronic games that simulate impossible scenarios. The screen showed images of humans playing complex video games, their faces intense with concentration. Thousands of spectators cheered and shouted as they watched. The humans watching believed completely in the impossible things happening in these games. Subin continued. Faster-than-light travel, energy shields, matter teleportation. For several hours, millions of human minds accepted these impossibilities as real. Dr. So-Young looked thoughtful. "What happened to the Zenthari ship?" "It reported that its reality sensors were malfunctioning. The crew said space around Earth was thinking impossible thoughts. Contact was lost shortly after." Woojin pulled up another incident report. 2 weeks ago, a Vorthon exploration vessel vanished while monitoring a human musical performance. Over 100,000 humans gathered in one location to listen to performers they called K-pop stars. "What is significant about human music?" Hyunwoo asked. "Sir, this was not just music. The humans in attendance were experiencing extreme emotional unity. They sang together, moved together, felt the same emotions at exactly the same time. The collective emotional energy was unlike anything we have ever measured." The Vorthon ship's final transmission reported that their instruments were detecting impossible levels of harmonic resonance. Subin added. Their captain said it felt like the entire planet was singing. Engineer Tae-young had been running calculations on his computer. "Commander, I think I understand what is happening. Human activities create energy fields that interfere with our technology, but not in ways we can predict or defend against. Elaborate. Our ships are designed to handle known threats. Solar radiation, gravitational fields, electromagnetic interference from stars and planets. But humans create energy patterns that should not exist, such as collective consciousness fields generated by millions of minds thinking similar thoughts. Emotional resonance waves created by large groups feeling the same emotions. Probability distortions caused by humans refusing to accept that something is impossible. Dr. So-Young studied the data from multiple ship disappearances. There is a pattern here. Every lost ship encountered humans who were doing something they loved, something that brought them together with other humans. The esports competition brought together millions of humans who love electronic games, Woojin noted. The music performance united thousands of humans who loved the same artists. And in both cases, the humans were completely focused on their shared experience, Subin added. They were not thinking about anything else. All their mental energy was concentrated on one activity. Hyunwoo walked to the viewing port and looked toward Earth. The planet seemed so peaceful from this distance, but he now understood it was one of the most dangerous worlds in the galaxy. Dr. So-Young, he said without turning around, in your studies of alien psychology, have you ever encountered a species that can alter reality through collective thought? Never, sir. Most species develop telepathy or other mental abilities, but they use these abilities consciously. They train for years to develop psychic powers. But humans are different. Yes. They seem to generate psychic fields unconsciously, simply by being themselves. When they gather in large groups and focus on shared experiences, they create effects that they do not even realize they are producing, which makes them incredibly dangerous to anyone who does not understand what they are doing. Tae-young brought up the orbital debris map again. Commander, there is something else. The human debris is not randomly distributed. It forms patterns that interfere with specific types of technology. Show me. Here, sir. The debris creates natural jamming fields that block certain frequencies. It generates unpredictable gravitational micro-distortions. Most importantly, it forces any approaching vessel to navigate through constantly changing hazards. Almost like the humans designed it as a defense system. Except they did not design it at all. They created it accidentally, through determination and failure and refusal to give up on their dreams of reaching the stars. Hyunwoo realized they had discovered something unprecedented in galactic history. Earth was protected not by weapons or shields, but by the fundamental nature of humanity itself. Their chaotic creativity, their emotional connections, and their stubborn refusal to accept limitations had turned their entire world into a fortress that no alien technology could penetrate. The Eternal Watch moved slowly through Earth's atmosphere, hidden by advanced stealth technology. Commander Hyunwoo watched the planet's surface pass below them through the viewing ports. Cities sparkled with millions of lights. Roads connected settlements like glowing spider webs. It was beautiful, but also very strange. "Commander, we are detecting massive electromagnetic activity," reported Science Officer Yoonji from her station. "The humans are sending signals everywhere. Radio waves, television broadcasts, cellular communications, internet data. The entire planet is covered in electronic noise." Hyunwoo nodded. Most civilizations used electromagnetic communications when they were young, but Earth was different. The humans had created networks that covered their entire world. Every human seemed to carry a small device that could communicate with any other device on the planet instantly. "What about the missing ships?" Hyunwoo asked. "Any clues about what happened to them?" Intelligence specialist Woo Jin looked up from his computer screen. "Sir, I have been studying human information networks. The humans have something they call the Internet. It connects billions of their computers together. What does that have to do with our missing ships? I accessed their communication systems to learn about human behavior. What I found is very interesting." Woo Jin activated the main display screen. The humans spend much of their time sharing stories about contact with alien life forms. The screen showed images from human movies, books, and games. Alien spaceships filled the display along with pictures of strange creatures from other worlds. They have imagined thousands of different scenarios for meeting aliens. Woo Jin continued. In most of these stories, the aliens are dangerous invaders who want to harm humanity. Dr. So Young, who had joined them on the bridge, studied the images carefully. "This is remarkable. They have prepared themselves psychologically for alien contact, even though they have never met real aliens." "Look at this," Woo Jin said, changing the display. "Human children play games where they fight alien invasions. Human adults watch movies about defeating alien attacks. They have trained their entire population to be suspicious of anything strange in their sky." Hyunwoo felt a chill. "Are you saying the humans can detect our ships?" "No, sir. Their technology is still too primitive, but their minds are always watching for signs of alien activity. They report every unusual light in the sky. They investigate every strange sound. They question everything that does not fit their normal patterns." Communications expert Subin had been quietly listening to human radio transmissions. She suddenly looked up with excitement. "Commander, I think I found something important." "What is it?" "I have been monitoring human communications during the times when our ships disappeared. There are patterns in their electronic signals that match the disappearance times exactly." Subin brought up a complex chart on her screen. "Look at this. Every time a ship vanished, human internet activity spiked in the same region. Millions of humans were online at the same time, all communicating with each other." "What were they communicating about?" Dr. So Young asked. "Many different things. Some were playing electronic games together. Others were watching entertainment programs. Many were sharing messages and pictures with friends and family." Subin paused and looked directly at Hyunwoo, but they were all thinking and feeling emotions at the same time. The bridge fell quiet as everyone tried to understand what Subin meant. "Explain this more clearly," Hyunwoo said. "Sir, humans are different from most species we have studied. They form very strong emotional connections with each other. When millions of them focus on the same thing at the same time, they create what their scientists call a collective consciousness." Dr. So Young leaned forward with interest. "Are you suggesting that human thoughts can affect physical reality?" "I am not sure, but the evidence is very strong. Every ship disappearance happened when large groups of humans were emotionally connected through their communication networks." Hyunwoo walked to the viewing port and looked down at Earth. "Show me the areas where most disappearances occurred." The display screen changed to show a map of Earth with red marks, indicating where alien ships had vanished. Most of the marks were concentrated over the Korean peninsula and nearby regions. "What makes this area special?" Hyunwoo asked. Woo Jin pulled up more data. "The humans in this region have created some of the most advanced communication networks on their planet. They also produce large amounts of entertainment media that is shared globally. Their internet connections are faster and more reliable than anywhere else on Earth, Subin added. When humans in this region go online, millions of other humans around the world join them. Dr. So Young studied the data carefully. There is something else. The humans in this region have a strong cultural emphasis on group cooperation and shared experiences. They work together more effectively than humans in many other parts of their world. What does that mean for us? Hyunwoo asked. If human collective consciousness can affect reality, then this region would be the most dangerous place for our ships to approach. The humans here are more connected to each other and to the global human network than anywhere else. Suddenly, the ship's alarm systems began making warning sounds. Navigation Officer Changmin looked up from his controls with panic in his eyes. Commander, we have a problem. Our navigation systems are showing impossible readings. What kind of readings? According to our instruments, we are in 7 different locations at the same time. Our position keeps changing even though we are not moving. Space itself seems to be shifting around us. Hyunwoo rushed to Changmin's station and looked at the displays. The readings made no sense. Their ship appeared to be occupying multiple dimensions simultaneously. How is this possible? Dr. So Young asked. Engineer Tae Young ran diagnostics on all ship systems. All our equipment is working perfectly, but the readings are still wrong. It is as if reality itself is malfunctioning around us. Subin checked her communications equipment. Sir, I am detecting a massive spike in human internet activity directly below our position. Millions of humans just went online at the same time. What are they doing? They are watching some kind of competition. Electronic games played by teams. The humans watching are emotionally invested in the outcome. Their excitement levels are extremely high. Hyunwoo realized what was happening. The human collective consciousness is affecting space-time around their planet. When large groups of them focus their attention and emotions together, they create distortions in reality. But that should be impossible, Dr. So Young protested. So should ships vanishing without a trace, Hyunwoo replied. Yet 17 vessels have disappeared around this world. The ship shuddered as another wave of distortion passed through them. Changmin worked frantically at his controls, trying to keep them stable. Commander, we need to leave this area immediately, he said. If these distortions get stronger, we could end up like the other missing ships. Hyunwoo made his decision. Set course away from the populated areas. We need to study this phenomenon from a safe distance. As the Eternal Watch moved away from the Korean peninsula, the impossible readings gradually returned to normal. But Hyunwoo knew they had discovered something that would change how the galaxy understood intelligent life forever. Dr. Minho rubbed his tired eyes and looked at the clock on his computer screen. It was 3 a.m, but he could not sleep. His experiment was so close to working. For 2 years, he had been trying to fold space in his laboratory at Seoul National University. If he could make it work, humans might be able to travel between stars someday. The machines in his lab hummed quietly in the darkness. Lights blinked on and off as computers ran calculations that would take a human brain years to complete. Minho did not know that his work was creating tiny tears in the fabric of space itself. These tears were so small that human instruments could not detect them, but they were growing larger each time he ran his experiment. Professor, you should go home and rest, said Jiwoo, his graduate student. She had been helping him with the project for 8 months. Like Minho, she often worked late into the night. Just one more test, Minho said. He pressed a button and the machines began to work harder. Energy readings on his computer screen started climbing higher and higher. Jiwoo watched her own computer screen with interest. Professor, look at this. The energy readings are spiking again. That is normal for this experiment, Minho replied without looking up from his work. No, sir. These spikes are happening at regular intervals. Every few hours, the energy jumps up for about 10 minutes, then goes back to normal. Jiwoo pulled up data from the past week. Look at the pattern. It is too regular to be random. Minho stopped what he was doing and walked over to Jiwoo's computer. She was right. The energy spikes formed a clear pattern. Something was causing them, but Minho had no idea what. Maybe our equipment is broken, he said. I checked everything twice. The equipment is working perfectly. Jiwoo scrolled through more data. Professor, what if something in space is interacting with our experiment? Minho laughed. Jiwoo, we are trying to fold space by a few millimeters. Even if there were aliens in space watching us, they would never notice something so small. Far from the university, in a small village outside Busan, an old farmer named Kyung-soo was having his own strange experiences. He had been farming the same land for 40 years and he knew every centimeter of his fields. But lately things had been happening that made no sense. His crops were growing faster than they should. Plants that normally took 3 months to mature were ready for harvest in 6 weeks. The vegetables were bigger and healthier than anything he had ever grown before. Even stranger, his old radio picked up signals that should not exist. "Honey, come listen to this," Kyung-soo called to his wife as he adjusted the radio antenna. The radio crackled with static, then suddenly filled with sounds that were not human voices. Strange beeping noises mixed with what sounded like music, but unlike any music made on Earth. "Maybe it is just interference from the city," his wife said. "The city is too far away. Besides, I have never heard sounds like these before." Kyung-soo did not know that his farm sat on top of a massive deposit of rare Earth elements. Over thousands of years, cosmic radiation from space had been slowly changing these elements. They now created a natural field that interfered with electronic equipment from other worlds. Any alien ship that came too close would find its navigation systems going crazy. In Daegu, a young computer expert named Haewon was trying to improve her internet connection. She lived in an old apartment building where the internet was slow and unreliable. Using parts from old electronics, she had built her own signal booster to make her connection faster. "Come on, work properly," she muttered as she adjusted her homemade device. She had built it using instructions she found online, but she had made several changes to make it more powerful. Suddenly, her computer screen filled with text that was not in Korean or any other human language. The characters looked like nothing she had ever seen before. "What is this?" Haewon said out loud. She tried to copy the text, but it disappeared as quickly as it had appeared. She adjusted her signal booster again, and the strange text came back. This time she was ready. She quickly took a screenshot before the text could vanish. Haewon spent the rest of the night trying to understand what she had captured. The text seemed to follow patterns like a language, but no translation program could make sense of it. She posted the screenshot on several internet forums, asking if anyone could identify the language. "Probably just corrupted data from a satellite," one person replied. "Looks like someone playing a prank," said another. But Haewon was not satisfied with these answers. She had been working with computers and networks for years. This was not corrupted data or a prank. This was something real, something that should not exist. What Haewon did not know was that her signal booster operated at the exact frequency that alien ships used for their stealth systems. Every time she turned it on, nearby alien vessels became visible to their own sensors, causing confusion and panic among their crews. Back at the university, Minho and Jiwoo were still studying their energy readings when something remarkable happened. The computer screen showed the biggest energy spike they had ever recorded. "Professor, look at this," Jiwoo shouted. "The energy is off the charts." At the same moment in his village, Kyung-soo's radio started making sounds so loud and strange that he had to turn it off. His crops began glowing with a soft green light that lasted for several minutes. In Daegu, Haewon's signal booster overloaded and shut down automatically. Her computer screen filled with so much strange text that it crashed her system. None of these 3 humans knew that their activities were connected. None of them realized that they were part of something much bigger than their individual experiments and projects. They were ordinary people living ordinary lives, but together they were creating something extraordinary. Minho's space-folding experiments were making it impossible for alien navigation systems to work properly near Earth. Kyung-soo's farm was generating a jamming field that blocked alien communications. Haewon's signal booster was making alien stealth systems malfunction. Each person thought they were working alone on their own problems, but their combined efforts were creating an invisible shield around Earth that no alien technology could penetrate or understand. As the night ended and the sun began to rise over Korea, the 3 humans went to bed tired but satisfied with their work. They had no idea that somewhere in space, alien investigators were trying desperately to understand why their most advanced ships kept disappearing around the strange blue planet called Earth. Commander Hyunwoo stood in front of the massive display screen aboard the Eternal Watch. The ship floated quietly at the edge of Earth's solar system, far enough away that the primitive humans could not detect them. Red dots blinked on the screen, each one marking where an alien ship had vanished without a trace. Show me the timeline again, Hyunwoo said to his senior analyst. Lieutenant Daeho pressed several buttons on his control panel. The screen changed to show dates and locations. 6 months ago, the first ship disappeared. It was a Zenthari scout vessel. They were doing routine observation of the blue planet when contact was lost. Hyunwoo nodded slowly. The Zenthari were careful explorers. They had been mapping unknown worlds for over 1,000 years. Their ships rarely had problems. 2 weeks later, Daeho continued, a Vorthan research ship vanished in the same area, then a Kellian transport, then another Zenthari vessel. The disappearances kept happening. How many ships total? Hyunwoo asked, though he already knew the answer. 17 ships from 7 different species. The smallest was a single-pilot scout craft. The largest was a Drakmor battlecruiser with 800 crew members. Hyunwoo felt a chill run down his spine. Battlecruisers were built to survive wars between star systems. Their shields could protect them from exploding stars. Their armor could withstand weapons that could crack planets. Yet somehow this one had simply ceased to exist. The door to the bridge slid open with a soft hiss. Dr. So Young walked in carrying a data tablet. She was the Galactic Council's best expert on alien life forms. If anyone could explain what was happening around Earth, it would be her. Commander, she said with a tired voice, I have finished studying all the disappearance reports. What did you find? Dr. So Young activated her tablet and connected it to the main screen. Images of Earth appeared, showing the blue and green planet rotating slowly in space. The humans down there have no idea we exist, she began. Their technology is very basic. They have just started sending small metal objects into space around their world. They cannot travel to other planets yet. They do not have energy weapons or force shields. Hyunwoo crossed his arms. Then how are they making our ships disappear? That is the mystery. Every ship that vanished was using standard approach procedures. They stayed far enough away to avoid detection. They used passive sensors only. They followed all safety protocols. Daeho pulled up another display. Look at this pattern, Doctor. The disappearances happen most often over certain areas of the planet. The screen showed Earth with several bright spots marked in different colors. Most of the bright spots were over large land masses where millions of humans lived together in cities. Dr. So Young studied the pattern carefully. Interesting. The highest concentration of disappearances is over the eastern continent, specifically over a peninsula where many humans live very close together. What makes that area special? Hyunwoo asked. The humans there have built one of their most advanced communication networks. They are constantly sending electronic signals through the air and through cables underground. They also have many of their learning centers and research facilities in that region. Lieutenant Daeho brought up more data. The humans in that area also produce a lot of their entertainment media. Music, visual stories, electronic games. These things are shared with humans all over their planet through their communication networks. Hyunwoo walked closer to the screen. He had studied many primitive worlds before, but Earth was different. Most species developed space travel when their population reached a few million individuals. Humans had over 7 billion people on their planet, yet they were still trapped on one world. There is something else, Dr. So Young said quietly. I analyzed the final transmissions from the lost ships. In every case, the crew reported strange malfunctions just before contact was lost. What kind of malfunctions? Navigation systems showing impossible readings. Sensors detecting objects that should not exist. Energy patterns that made no sense according to known physics. She paused and looked directly at Hyunwoo. One ship captain said his instruments were showing that space itself was thinking around the human world. The bridge fell silent. Space did not think. Space was empty vacuum with planets and stars floating in it. The idea that space could have thoughts was impossible. Commander, Daeho said slowly, there is something else you should know. 3 more ships are missing from yesterday's patrol. Hyunwoo turned sharply. Why was I not informed immediately? The reports just came in. A Kellian science vessel, a Mordak trader, and one of our own scout ships. All 3 were investigating the same area where the previous ships disappeared. Dr. So Young looked worried. Sir, I recommend we contact the Galactic Council immediately. This situation is beyond our understanding. Hyunwoo stared at the image of Earth on the screen. The planet looked so peaceful from this distance. White clouds swirled over blue oceans. The night side sparkled with millions of lights from human cities. It was hard to believe that something so beautiful could be dangerous to advanced spacefaring civilizations. The council sent us here to find answers, he said finally. If we return with more questions and no solutions, they will send a full investigation fleet. That could mean hundreds of ships and thousands of lives at risk. What do you suggest, Commander? Dr. So-Young asked. Hyunwoo made his decision. We go closer. We study the humans directly. We find out what makes them so dangerous to our ships. Daeho looked nervous. Sir, that could be very risky. We might disappear like the others. Then we will be careful. We will use full stealth systems and stay in constant contact with the Council. But we cannot solve this mystery from here. Dr. So-Young nodded slowly. If we are going to approach the human world, we should focus on the areas where most disappearances occurred. The peninsula region with the advanced communication networks. Agreed. Hyunwoo turned to his crew. Prepare the ship for close approach. Activate all stealth systems. Set course for Earth. As the Eternal Watch began moving toward the blue planet, Hyunwoo wondered what they would find there. The humans looked harmless enough. They were not even aware that life existed on other worlds, yet somehow they had become the greatest mystery in the galaxy. 17 ships had vanished trying to answer that question. Soon Hyunwoo and his crew would either solve the mystery or become part of it themselves. The fate of future galactic exploration might depend on what they discovered about the strange world called Earth and its impossible human inhabitants.